Hello, my name is Jeff Martin, and I have the privilege of serving in the Camp and Campus Department for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes at our National Support Center in Kansas City. And I just want to say thank you for you giving of your time, your talent, your treasure to be a part of FCA camps this summer. We're really excited about what God's going to do at all of our camps, and specifically at your camp. And one of the things is our staff have been praying for you. They're ready to equip and train you, so you have just a great time of influence at the camp you're going to be serving at. There's three environments we want to create. The first environment is one that is safe for all the campers. And then the second environment is an environment that allows them to get better as an athlete and also better as a leader. And then the third environment is we want to create an environment that they have a chance to have a personal experience with a holy God. And so we're really excited about the opportunities to do that. But we also realize that if we don't create that first environment, that safe environment, that the other two probably aren't going to happen. And so it's very important as you receive your training and your equipping from the staff that you realize we want to create a safe environment. The way we do that is we have what's called a youth protection policy. We're going to take just a few minutes to allow you to understand a few of the definitions, some of the things, the procedures that we have in place to make sure that we provide a safe environment for the campers and for you. And to do that, I've asked Ken Williams, who's the Executive Vice President of Operations here at the National Support Center in Kansas City. I've asked him to just step in and share a few of those policies and procedures with you.
Thanks, Jeff, and welcome to FCA Camp. We all have the great privilege to serve athletes and coaches at FCA Camp this summer. As camp staff, along with this privilege comes many responsibilities. One of those responsibilities is to provide a safe environment for our campers. As camp staff, we want to promote a positive, safe, and nurturing environment for our campers. One aspect of this is to make sure all camp staff understand and are trained on FCA youth protection guidelines. Three things that we do to ensure the safety of our campers. Number one is we make sure all camp staff are screened. And as you all know, you all completed a ministry leader application and had a background check prior to serving at camp. You'll also be asked to read and sign FCA youth protection guidelines and expectations at the end of this session. And the third area is, as camp staff, you have to understand FCA's responsibility and procedures for handling situations where possible abuse may be occurring with an under the age of 18 camper. As camp staff, and particularly huddle leaders, you may find yourself in a discussion with a camper shares with you a situation in their life that could be considered abusive. Legally, FCA is considered a mandatory reporter, which means that if we have reason to believe that a minor is being abused, we must report the situation to the appropriate state child protective services. FCA must report situations involving either abuse or neglect. To understand this more, let's review the legal definitions of abuse and neglect. What must be reported? Abuse is legally defined as any physical injury, sexual abuse, or emotional abuse inflicted on a child, other than that by accidental means, by those who are responsible for the child's care, except that discipline administered in a reasonable manner should not be considered abuse. Neglect is defined legally as the failure to provide for the necessary care, support, education as required by law, nutrition, or medical care necessary for a child's well-being. When FCA must report something is when we have probable cause to believe that abuse may be occurring or neglect may be occurring. Probable cause is defined as when the available facts and when considered by a reasonable person would cause you to believe that the child is being abused or neglected. If you find yourself in a discussion with a camper about a potential abuse situation, remember the following. First of all, you can only ensure confidentiality to the point that you think the situation may present a danger to the person or another person. At that point, you may have to take appropriate action. The second thing to remember is when you're discussing this with a young person, listen with the intent to really hear what they're saying and understand the facts of their situation. And third, if you believe the situation involves abuse or neglect, discuss the situation with your camp director and maintain confidentiality between you, the camper, and the camp director. Our camp directors are trained and experienced in handling these types of situations, and our National Support Center staff is here to serve you. If after talking with the camper, the director believes there is a potential abuse, the director will contact me at the FCA National Support Center, and we will review the facts and determine if we need to notify the Child Protective Services. You may also be asked by the camp director to document your discussion, and this will be sent to our camp office at the FCA National Support Center. Thanks for all you do to serve at FCA camps, and as you prepare to begin your camp, please pray for the following things. Safe travel for all the campers that are coming to and from the camp location. Pray that the Lord will work in the lives of athletes and coaches this week at FCA camp. And pray that if there are things that need to be revealed in the lives of young people who are attending camp, that those things will be revealed and our staff will have the compassion and wisdom to deal with them. Again, thanks for all you do to serve at FCA camp.
Thanks, Ken. You are going to be receiving a form here. It's a Youth Protection Goals and Expectations form. And all of our staff, all of our huddle leaders are required to sign this. So I want to make sure that you take time to look at each one of these items, go over it, read it, understand. If you have any questions, you can ask your huddle leader coordinator or the camp director. And then sign this and turn that back in, again, to either your huddle leader coordinator or the camp director, and make sure that we have these on file. This is very important. And I just want to remind you that you know, when you come to camp, God's going to use you in a special way. He has called you for this time, and so He will protect you. He will provide for you the words that need to be said, and everything you need. Plus, you have our staff that are trained and equipped to help you as you serve this week in camp. So we just want you to be excited about what God's called you to do, and know that we're here to help you as a staff as you serve this week in camp. So know that you're prayed for and that you are going to make a difference this week, and we're really excited to see what God's going to do. Thanks again for serving at FCA camp this summer.